guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the market analysis video for 13th Feb 2023. Let's get started. All right. As usual, let's start with the global markets. So let's start with the US market. So like we all know, the US market has been following this trend line for months and it recently gave a breakout. So it gave a breakout, but like I mentioned in my previous market analysis video, there should be some kind of pullback for the US market because there's been three continuous green candles. So at this level, sellers started dominating, and then the US market is now at its 200 moving average with a doji kind of a candle or a lower rejection candle. If you guys want to know more about candles and candlestick patterns, I made a separate video on it. So you guys can go check it out. The link is in the description. Yeah, anyways, so there's been a lower rejection. So this indicates a bullish sign, right? So either the US market can start reversing from the 200 moving average, or it can come to its support zone, which is this level, and then start moving up. But for the next couple of weeks, I'm bullish on the US market. If you see all the other markets, the European markets, the Asian markets, everything has been, sellers have been dominating slightly, or there's been a slight pullback. And soon there'll be a really bullish run on the global market. So the global markets show that all the global markets are basically positive, right? So moving on, let's go to our market. All right, let's move to Nifty, right? I'll just remove all the drawings. Yeah, let's go to Nifty. Let's start with a higher time frame. So let's move to the 1 month time frame. So if you guys notice Nifty in the higher time frame, at this level, Nifty gave a huge sell-off, and then it came to its previous support zone and gave again a doji candle or a lower rejection candle. So this indicates a bullish pattern, right? So on the higher time frame, Nifty shows a bullish pattern in its support zone. Let's go to the lower time frame, let's go to the weekly time frame. So if you see the movement for Nifty, it's been consolidating. There's been a breakout, there's been a retest, then there's been a huge bullish run, and now there's a pullback. And in its previous support, there's been a huge green candle, and then there's been like a doji candle, right? This is the movement for Nifty. So even in the weekly time frame, it shows a bullish run, right? So there's been a pullback. Sellers have been shaken out. The market's stable and it's ready for a big movement. So this candle indicates that, and then the next candle shows like a sideways market. So that's the weekly time frame analysis. If we move to the daily time frame, pretty much the same thing, right? So it took support from its 200 moving average, and then there's been a bullish run, and the market's been sideways from then. All right, let's move to our plan of action. Let's move to our levels. So this is Nifty on the 15 minutes time frame. If you guys see Nifty, it's been making higher highs on the lower time frame, but the market's been kind of sideways. So there's two types of movements in the market. Like on a bullish run, there's either a pullback. So this is a bullish market. So there's either a pullback and then a big movement, or a sideways movement and then a breakout to the upside or the downside, whichever. So this is how usually markets move, right? So there's been so Nifty has been forming higher highs on the 15-minute time frame. So let's move to our plan of action. If Nifty breaks out this level, or if it gives a breakout here, I'll be adding my first set of quantities at this green candle. And when it starts giving me a pullback and I'll again starts going up, I'll be adding my next set of quantities here. This would be my first level, this would be my second target, and this would be my third target, right? So if there's a huge breakout candle here, I'll be adding my quantities here. And then if there's a retest, I'll be adding my quantities there too. Let's plan for a movement on the downside too. So if Nifty breaks out this trend line and this level, um, and gives me a retest and then gives me a bearish candle, I'll be then taking the trade up here, and this would be my first target, and this would be my second target. I will not be taking up the moment there's a bearish candle here. I'll be waiting for a retest, because looking at the global sentiment and some FII DII data, which I'll be showing you, the market looks bullish, so I wouldn't be taking up a bearish trade unless there's a retest. So that's my plan of action for Nifty. You guys can copy the levels really quick. This line. And this trend line on the 15 minutes time frame. So that's my analysis for Nifty. So let's move to Bank Nifty. Again, let's start with a higher time frame. So if you guys see Bank Nifty on the higher time frame, at this level, it gave a huge sell-off, and then it reached its support zone and it gave a huge doji candle or a lower rejection candle. So Bank Nifty on the higher time frame looks bullish. If we move to the 1 week time frame, so again, the same kind of analysis, right? There's been a huge sell-off, then there's a huge green candle here at this region, and then there's like a doji candle or a sideways kind of market. So yeah, and if we go to the daily time frame, same thing. It took support from its 200 moving average, gave a huge bullish run, and the market's been sideways for almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been sideways since probably the entire week of last week, and it's been a pretty boring market. But that you guys can expect a big movement in the upcoming week, whether it's the upside or the downside. All right, let's move to our plan of action. So this is Bank Nifty in the 15 minutes time frame. All right. So if Bank Nifty, so my view is bullish, right? But let's plan for both the sides. So if Bank Nifty breaks out this zone, I'll be taking a trade. If it gives me a green candle here, I'll be taking up a trade here. I'll be adding my first set of quantities, and then if there's a reversal or a retest, I'll be adding my second set of quantities here. 42,000 would be my first level, and then this would be my next level. Yeah. So that's my plan of action for the bullish side, which I'm probably gonna take because my view for the market is bullish. But if again the market moves down, I'll be waiting for this complete zone to break, and then only I'll be taking up a trade on a retest. So I just don't want the zone to break. I want a retest and then a bearish candle, and then only I'll be taking up a bearish trade. So that's my plan of action, and this would be my first target, and this would be my second target if I'm taking up a bearish trade. You guys can copy the levels really quick. Yeah. And this trend line on the 15-minute time frame. So since the market has been sideways, the market can have a big movement next week, so you guys can watch out for that. All right, so let's so we are done with Nifty and Bank Nifty. All right, so a quick thing. So told you guys that I'll just explain you guys why I'm bullish. So one thing is the global sentiment. The next thing is candlesticks, the way it's on the higher time frames and the way the market is moving. The third thing is the data, right? So if you guys notice here, if so, this is the FII and DII net buy and sell data. So FII is stacked almost 1,458 crores worth of shares in Nifty. So if you guys see the previous time, so if we move to Feb first, this is the previous time FII has really bought a lot of quantities, right? So if you guys let's check it out on the charts. So FII has bought a lot of quantities on Feb first, right? So that's over here, right? So FI has bought a lot of quantities here, and then you can see that the market has been rallying from there, right? And now again, FII started buying even at this zone. So this gives me more confidence that the market's going to go bullish. So the technical factors, the data factors, all and the global cues show that the market's bullish. So yeah, so let's move on to some intraday stocks and swing trading stocks. So let's move to some intraday stocks. So since the banking sector has been sideways, I'll be prefer to so whoever trades in stocks, I prefer to trade in stocks because we can see huge movements in the upcoming week. So HDFC has been following this level for a really long time, since I think like Monday. So if it breaks out from this region, I'll be taking, and if it, for example, gives a green candle here, I'll be taking up a trade here, and this would be my first target, this would be my second target, and this would be my third target. I wouldn't be taking a trade for the downside because I couldn't find like proper levels. So my view for HDFC, or my bias for HDFC, or my levels is just for the upside. Because if you see HDFC, or if you try drawing levels on the downside, there's been huge lower rejection, right? So this candle, and it's a very like volatile zone, so you can't really pick out a certain level to short the market. But if you see here, this zone is a pretty good opportunity to take a bullish trade. So that's my first pick of stock. So you guys can copy the levels really quick. And this trend line on the 15 minutes time frame. So this is the first target, this is the second target, and this is the third target. You guys can also use the pivot points indicator to like take short trades if you guys like. So if you guys just open the pivot points indicator, this would be, so you guys can use pivot points too to look up levels. All right, moving on. Axis Bank. So Axis Bank has been following this trend line for a pretty long time too. So since Monday. Again, I'll be taking up a bullish trade on Axis Bank. So if it breaks out from this trend line and gives a closing about this zone, my first target would be 875. My next target would be this region, and my next target would be this region, right? Or you guys could again use the pivot points indicator and take up some levels there too. So that's my plan of action. I wouldn't be taking a bearish I wouldn't be taking up a bearish trade. You guys can copy the levels really quick. 875 should break out from this zone, and this and the trend line on the 15-minute time frame. Moving on, ICICI Bank. So pretty much all the banks have been sideways. That's why Banknifty has been sideways. So you guys could look for a really good opportunity, whether it's the downside or the upside. So the previous two stocks were for the upside. This stock is a good opportunity for the downside as well as the upside. So again, the same plan of action, right? If it gives me a closing about this level on a green candle, my first target is this, my second target is this. If it gives me a bearish candle here, my first target is this, my second target is this. You guys could also wait for a retest and then take up a trade. So people who are safe, you guys can wait for a retest, wait for a bullish candle, and then take up a trade in all the stocks. But if you're just taking up the breakout trade, you guys can do that too. Make sure the stop loss is intact though. So that's for ICICI Bank. You guys can copy the levels really quick. This trend line on the 15-minute time frame, 845, and this. Kotak Bank, again, bank. So this trade is again for the upside only. If it breaks this zone and gives a bullish candle, this could be my this could be my first target, this could be my second target. I wouldn't be taking up Kotak for a bearish trade because again, if you guys can see, there's been huge rejections from the lower side, so I wouldn't be taking up Kotak for a bearish trade. You guys can copy the levels really quick. Yeah, so these are my intraday stocks. You guys can, so it's just the banking sector stocks because banking sector has been sideways last week, so you guys can expect a movement, whether it's the downside or upside. You guys can use these levels and just take up the trade accordingly. Let's move on to some swing trading stocks really quick. Yeah. All right, Reliance. I gave this in the previous market analysis video too. I said that Reliance would probably take like a fake breakout. So it kind of gave a fake breakout and then it gave a huge green candle. So there's still opportunity to take up a trade here. If you guys want, you guys can take up a trade here, but people safe traders can take up the trade above this zone. So it's the same level as the previous market analysis video, but you guys can copy it really quick. So that's Reliance. Again, Coal India also in the previous market analysis video. So I think it was somewhere here and then it finally came to our zone and gave a bearish candle below the 200 moving average. So if tomorrow, seeing the sentiments, it looks like the market's moving up. So if there's a green candle here, it's a good opportunity to take up a swing trade. Keep the stop loss below this level, and this could be a first target, this could be a second target. So it's almost, so if you guys can take up a trade somewhere here, it's almost 7%, and this is almost 13%. For Reliance, just a quick thing. If you guys can take, so you're on the daily time frame, the 200 moving average could also be one of your targets too. So 2000, around 2500 could be your target too. So yeah, just a quick note. All right. Apollo Hospitals. So Apollo Hospitals came to its important support zone after a huge fall, gave a bullish run and closed above its 200 moving average. So this is a pretty good swing trading stock. You guys can keep the stop loss below this candle or below the 200 moving average, and this could be a first target. This could be a second target, which is almost, so if you guys can take up the trade somewhere here, it's almost 4% the first target, and the second target's almost 7%. So you guys can copy the levels really quick. And the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. Make sure you look out for that too. You guys can copy the levels for Coal India really quick. And this thing too. And the 200 moving average, obviously. All right, guys. I gave you a list of swing trading stocks, intraday stocks. I gave my plan of action for Nifty and Banknifty. There could be a huge movement next week, so it's a good opportunity, and make sure you're careful while you're trading. Other than that, if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe the video. If you guys want more such videos, subscribe to the channel. Have a safe trading week. I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you.